In this video, I'm trying to simulate Modbus communication from Proteus to Arduino or ModPoll, right? So the main things we need is Proteus, com0com, and ModPoll itself. Yeah, let me explain how this works. We require only these two components in Proteus. One is Arduino Nano or any microcontroller. Another one is COMPIM. So here we can see the configuration. Here I have set the COM to port to COM4 and 9600 baud rate, 8 bytes. Physical bytes is 8 and rest is same. Okay. So after that, what I will do is again, this is a free software we can download from internet, and this setup is little tricky, but yeah, it's pretty easy to set up in no time. So what we will do, we will take that COM port, which is COM4, and we'll assign it to COM3. Basically, it is a bridge which is connecting this software, communication port of this software to another port, and we will press apply here, and that's it. COM port is ready. Now we will open ModPoll, and as you can see, it's a timeout error because I'm not running anything. Yeah, and the Arduino itself, basically all these software are required, like 4 softwares. Yeah, this is very simple example which I'm trying to show here. Modbus communication. Basically I'm using the built-in serial, hardware serial, and I've written a test, and I can show you it here how the com0com is working under the hood. I can see the ports here. I can see it's 2 ports. So I want to connect to COM3, which I have connected, and let me run this. Yeah, before that, let me check if it is connected here. Let me disconnect this first. Yeah. One more thing I have to show is, this is an example which I was trying to replicate the master, which was actually done by ModPoll. So as you can see, we can see the output value, which is 1, 2, 3, and we are receiving this bytes of data, right? So if I open Arduino and open COM port, yeah, it's selected, and if I visualize this, did I disconnect it? Yeah, this is disconnected. Let me restart this. Here we can see Modbus test, right? So basically this means our 2 softwares are successfully communicating. This is the main reason for that, using a virtual port. Okay, so let me stop this, and we'll go back to the ModPoll communication. Let me, okay. Yeah, I have to connect. I have to go here, click the registration for now. Yeah, select the COM3 port, and rest of the configuration is same. RTU should be enabled. Okay, and here we should see 1, 2, 3, because I'm reading. Before that we have to write this read-write definition. I have to select slave ID is 1, address is 1, and holding register, we are reading holding register, so 1, and quantity 1, and rest are same. Just apply, and we can see the data coming here. We can visualize the actual bytes being exchanged using this. So here we can see this is what master is sending, and this is what the slave is responding. In our case, which is Proteus Arduino Nano. This only this part, need not to worry about this section, which is also doing the same thing. Yeah, that's it for the communication. To if you want to go for the actual hardware, this is how it will work. So in the actual hardware here, as I told, I am using the hardware serial itself from Arduino Nano. We will be connecting TX RX to RO and DI of max 485 or 487, which is the TTL to what is that, RS 485 to TTL converter, and AB to AB for the master device, or here we will be using something like a USB to RS 485 converter, which will also have AB connection. We will be connecting those two. Here in Arduino, for the max 485, we will be connecting RE and D. We will be basically shorting it and connecting it to D0. I will show the code also. And yeah, this will be working as a computer. Here in our case, Modbus, ModPoll. We can visualize the same data. If I open the code, this pretty simple code. I'm not using any library or anything like that. Yeah, here I've defined pin 2 for the enable read write for the mod max 485. Yeah, I'm defining the pins. I'm defining serial. Anyway, this is just for test, won't be used. There is a CRC block. Yeah, basically initially we should start it as low, which will be in read mode, because Modbus is like only master will ask, then only the slave will be responding. So always it will be low, and whenever the serial is available, we will read the data from this mod lines, basically from the serial basically. So now we want to send the data. So I will create an array with the address 01, slave address, and holding register 03. 2 bytes of data. I'm sending 2 bytes of data, which is 123, which will be 0078, and we will be adding 2 low byte and high byte for the CRC. That will also be 2 byte. So 2 CRC byte will be added, and that will be calculated here in this block. CRC will be calculated, and then we will wait for maybe 200 microsecond. This can be less, even less than this, but for safety I have kept it. So now we will enable this pin. Basically this will make it as a transmission mode. Earlier we were receiving mode. Now it will be transmission mode, and we'll send this 7 byte of data. We'll write it to the serial, flash the serial. Again we will go back to the read mode, and this cycle continues infinitely. Yeah, this is the very basic example of how we can connect Proteus serial output to ModPoll, which will be working as a master with the help of com0com virtual port. Yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.